sexy, sexual. I've got it all figured out.
In the mirror world. Have fun, fat boy. There's no donuts down there.
So I just got out of Oculus. I believe that's why you say it. It's a very confusing name to say. I feel like there's going to be a lot of people, saying the name wrong. I saw some trailers for it. I didn't see a whole ton, but, I heard a lot of people talking about it. Was definitely interested in seeing it. I know the director did Absentina, I believe, and that's one that I need to see. I have not gotten to see that one yet. The movie's basically about these two kids, and when they're younger, it's just 10 years earlier, 10 or 11 years earlier, their father ends up torturing and killing their mother. The one boy ends up going to the nut house for 11 years. The girl ends up having to kind of fend for herself. They don't really explain why she kind of had to fend for herself, but for one reason or another, she, kind of went into foster care and he went into the mental asylum. And it's 11 years later after this, he's been released. And, he's kind of believes that the things that these images and all these things that are happening in the house, he kind of believes there's all in his mind. The girl still, thinks that there was something going on in this house, that there was someone controlling, their parents and making what happened happen. So she ends up tracking down the mirror in the house, which, they believed as kids is what was the cause of what ended up happening. She believes that this mirror, in the past, she's traced the origins of this mirror all the way back from the 1700s, and everyone who's had this mirror has pretty much died, or that's what she believes. She gets the mirror back, goes back to the house where all the bad things happen with her brother, and her brother is not believing anything. He's saying, "Oh, well, this is all a coincidence." He doesn't want to believe it. She has the whole house with cameras on the mirror, has all these elaborate systems, and they're going to drink every hour and eat every 30 minutes to make sure they don't get dehydrated, and all these sort of things. And it's pretty much about them back in this house investigating the thing. And they cut back and forth between when they were kids and when they were older. And I would say that kind of got confusing in some points. And it was kind of a little bit too much of that. It worked in certain aspects. Other parts it was getting to the point where it was like, I would rather it would just stick between the, when they were kids or when they were adults. It did work though, the back and forth, but at the same time, like I said, they were doing it just a little bit too much and was sort of taking you out of it a little bit. There was some very creepy imagery in it, but it's definitely one of these that's, I would say, is way more of a slow burn horror film. It takes a very long time for things to happen. It's not something like Insidious or The Conjuring where it's like scares a minute and there's always really creepy things happening all the time. It's one of those movies when it's more things happening little by little, and they're kind of building up and getting worse, and that kind of movie. Like I said, but it's a lot of back and forth between them now, when they were kids in the house. There's some interesting cutting between that, though, when they would cut to the same place back then and, in current times. I would definitely recommend checking it out. Like, out of 5 stars, probably 4. It really was a good movie, but nothing extremely new. There's been movies with a similar kind of feel to it, and like I said, the back and forth kind of took away from it just a little bit because it was just used just a little too much. Anyway, though, guys, let me know what you think of the movie. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.